There's a way to scale your business, reclaim your time, and find satisfaction in the process of building your business without working yourself into exhaustion. Now, I recently read Buy Back Your Time by Dan Martell, and it transformed how I view time, approach my productivity, and gained freedom in the work that I do. Now, in this video, I'm sharing a sneak peek at the top 5 lessons that I learned from Dan's book. The first lesson is contained within the buyback principle. This concept is the foundation of Dan's approach, and it's simple. Hire people not to grow your business, but to instead buy back your time. Now, Dan explains that most entrepreneurs fall into a trap. They believe that they need to do everything themselves, and this belief can be driven by a desire for control or a lack of trust in others, or some weird misconception that doing everything personally is somehow going to save you time and resources. This is the problem though. When you're the one doing all the work, then you're also the bottleneck, and this slows down your growth and it leads to burnout. Now, the solution is to identify tasks that you don't enjoy or that aren't super high value, and then you delegate those tasks. This doesn't just free up your time, it lets you focus on areas where you can make the most impact. Dan argues that time is your most valuable resource, and by investing in people, you can create more time for high impact activities. Today's video is brought to you by Forecaster. Now, I created Forecaster after seeing entrepreneurs struggle with their financials. Many would refresh their bank accounts every day, they'd stress over cash flow, and they'd try to cobble together these clunky spreadsheets to try to understand their business. And when it came to fundraising, things got even harder, leading to confusing financial plans that really hurt their credibility with investors. That's why we built Forecaster. It's world-class software designed to make your numbers clear, attract investment, and to help you grow faster with the power of data. Plus, every customer is paired with an expert financial coach to guide them every step of the way. Click the link below for a free 30-minute discovery session with our team. If you're a fit to move forward, we'll throw in a free 10 hours of analyst time, which covers the full cost of your onboarding into our software. Now, we only take 50 new customers per month, so claim your spot today. Spots are very limited. The second lesson is the buyback loop. Now, the buyback loop is the practical, iterative framework for implementing the buyback principle. It provides a step-by-step process to identify, delegate, and optimize tasks. It consists of 3 key steps: audit, transfer, and fill. This process ensures that you spend time on those high-value activities that align with your strengths and your goals. The first step is audit. So start by tracking everything that you do throughout your day. You want to pay attention to the tasks that feel draining or don't match your strengths. And these are often low-value activities that somebody else could handle much more effectively. By identifying these tasks, you clearly understand where your time is going and where adjustments are needed. Next is transfer. So once you've identified the tasks that don't align with your strengths, delegate them to somebody who excels in those areas. So just for example, if bookkeeping is not your strong suit, which is probably not for most people, hire a professional who enjoys and actually specializes in it. The goal is to offload tasks that zap your energy so that you can focus on the things that you do best. The last one is fill. So use the time that you gain to engage in those high value activities that align with your skills and drive the most impact. You can also use it to develop yourself. Just don't buy back your time to do nothing, because then you're just wasting money. Now, if this concept resonates with you at all, please do me a favor and hit that subscribe button, because we like to put out a lot of tips for how to scale your business while also living your life and getting the most out of your life. The third concept that I learned is the drip matrix. The drip matrix helps you manage your time and your energy. It helps you identify where you should be focusing and where you need to stop wasting your time. So let's break that down. The delegation quadrant consists of things that suck your energy that don't make you a lot of money. You'll want to shed these low value tasks. These are things like administrative tasks, scheduling, responding to emails, and invoicing, and things like that. It's low cost to bring somebody on to support you with those types of tasks so that you can get your time back. For example, emails used to take me hours every single day, and I eventually brought on a virtual assistant, Sam, to help me with this. And now I go through my entire inbox in 10 minutes a day, because by the time I get to it, Sam has already combed through everything, organized it, and drafted a lot of responses that ordinarily I would have had to have done myself. Next up is the replacement quadrant. So these are things that still don't excite you, but they have to get done. When you scale, you can pay people to replace you out of functions like sales and marketing and onboarding new clients and things like that. Although they're essential, they can dominate your calendar. The investment quadrant asks one simple question: who do I need to become? So ask yourself, what is missing in the business and what skill do I have to acquire in order to implement it? If you're not good at marketing, then you can invest in resources to learn marketing. The same goes for sales or HR or leadership or operations or anything. This is for you to go and acquire those character traits, those disciplines, the mindset, people beliefs, and more. And finally, we we have the production quadrant. In this quadrant, you get to look at your calendar, and everything that's in there are things that you want to do, have chosen to do, and are excited to do. People get burned out because they're working on stuff that burns them out. It's harder to get burned out on stuff that you actually like to do, and it's way easier to get burned out on stuff that you don't want to do. Sometimes you just have to renegotiate what you're doing. What position or what situation will allow you to create the most economic value or resources for your team? Doing this is the premise of buying back your time. The fourth lesson is the test first method. Now, Dan's test first method is a strategy for evaluating potential hires or freelancers before you bring them fully on board. The core idea behind this method is to test candidates' abilities through a small project before deciding if they're a good fit for your business long term. So here's how it works. First, you have to find qualified candidates. So you can search for freelancers or candidates who meet the qualifications that you're looking for. You can find them from platforms such as Upwork or Indeed or things like that. Second, you want to give them a test project. Now, this project should involve real tasks that they would be doing if they were hired, so that you can assess both their skills and their ability to follow instructions, as well as how they communicate. The third, you want to set clear expectations. Now, the test project should be well defined and give those candidates a clear idea of what's expected. Set a reasonable timeline, like no longer than 48 hours for the test project, and make sure that you're paying them for their time. And then fourth, you want to evaluate the results. So once they complete the project, evaluate the performance based off a few criteria. So did they follow the instructions? Did they complete the task on time? How well did they perform the task relative to how you would have done it? And if multiple candidates perform well, prioritize strong communication. The ability to ask questions or clarify doubts and provide updates is key in remote work and really good collaboration. Now, keep in mind, nobody will do a task exactly the way that you would do it. But as Dan puts it, 80% done by someone else is 100% freaking awesome. You not having to spend half of your week doing something that you hate for the 100th time is 100% freaking awesome. Now, the fifth lesson is the camcorder method. The camcorder method is about recording yourself doing a task or a process so that you only have to explain things one time. The idea is to film yourself performing a process or a task that you do regularly in your business. Now, this especially applies to repeatable tasks that you don't ever want to do again, and you can onboard employees to do these things. If you don't have a written SOP, you could also use this to create one. So you can leverage tools like Loom to film and generate a transcript for the process. Then you can bring that transcript over to ChatGPT and ask it to write you a structured procedure document for you. This way, you don't ever have to re-explain the process or do training any more than once. It's massive time leverage. So those are the top 5 lessons that I learned from Buy Back Your Time. It's an awesome book and I really enjoyed reading it, and I'm currently implementing a lot of these learnings in my work life and some of my personal life as well. Now, that's just a sneak peek though. I highly recommend that you read it to learn the rest of these insights. Now, if you want to learn how to build a business in 7 steps, then click this link.